Indianapolis Colts. Obviously, another big quarterback decision for them. What do you make of the Colts offseason?
Yeah, they're interesting. So they are another franchise that tends to kind of sit out of free agency, but I actually like the one move they made. Well, besides signing the kicker to the biggest free agent kicker contract of all time, we'll ignore that for now. But the one meaningful move they made, which is bringing in Samson Ebukam from the San Francisco 49ers, I think fits well on a defensive line that, look, it's a lot of potential, and potential doesn't mean anything until it shows up on Sundays. But you could have a really solid rotation with a healthy Daryl Odengbo, with Kwity Paye taking another step, with Ebukam, DeForest Buckner. You draft Ade Adebaware from Northwestern. There is the potential for him to be very good on the defensive side of the line. I love taking the swing on Anthony Richardson. But I think, again, I don't think they're going to be very good this year. But I did like their draft class. I kind of get the vision. It just might take a year or two to get there.
I was surprised how bad the betting market thinks the Colts are going to be this year. Like, I agree with you. This year is not going to be their year. You know, they're obviously building for the future and for beyond. But I actually think I don't think they're going to stink this year. Like, there's too much talent on this team for them to be a complete and total disaster. And I think given the coach that they have in place and the game plan that they understand is going to have to exist for Anthony Richardson to start, their floor is going to be reasonably high. Like, I don't think this team is going to be terrible.
I think markets sometimes just overcorrect for is like, look, the offensive line was bad for them. There's no denying that. But if they just, maybe it was health, maybe it was fatigue, maybe it was playing for Matt Ryan, in front of Matt Ryan, and their offensive line has tons of talent. They just didn't play well last year. If that regresses in a positive fashion, then I would say besides cornerback, which I think scares me a little bit, they're pretty solid at most other position groups. You add another receiver and Josh Downs which again, totally different player than Michael Pittman and Alec Pierce on the outside. I'm with you. The talent is there. Again, even more so if some guys who didn't play well last year get back to form or at least close to it.
Yeah, liked a lot of their draft. Obviously, this wild draft where they targeted these hyper athletes at almost every single position. I guess my favorite move has got to be the Anthony Richardson thing. Not necessarily because I'm in love with Richardson as a prospect, but I love the logic. I love the process. I love them coming out and admitting that, look at the AFC right now. Like, we have Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert. There is this gauntlet of insane quarterbacks that we got to get past. What good does okay do us? If we drafted, another quarterback and he ends up just being a capable starter, that's useless. We're going to get bounced by every one of those guys that are superstars. Let's at least swing for the fence. Let's grab a guy like Richardson who, if we can turn or if we can get to realize that ridiculous athletic potential and the capability that he has, can at least theoretically, in an ideal world, go toe-to-toe with those guys and do similar special things. I like that as logic. I think that's the way you have to go. That's the only approach you can take now.
It's the only thing that's going to do anything of meaning in the AFC. Not to always pick on the guy, but Mac Jones does nothing for you in the AFC. He's not a top 10 AFC quarterback, and I think he's solid. And there's no room for him to get better that make him a top 10 AFC quarterback. I don't even think Russell Wilson and Tua Tagovailoa are a top 10 AFC quarterback. So, I cannot agree more there. I love a lot of their picks. Julius Brents from Kansas State is a big physical press man outside corner. I think he might obviously have a bigger role than he probably needs to out of the gate. And then, like you said, just freak athletes across the board. I like Blake Freeland as well. Probably get some potential playing time. Three more deeper cuts. But I think Evan Hull is going to have a role in this offense as a pass catching back with, get Jonathan Taylor getting spelled a little bit more. I talked to Minnesota linebacker for an article before the draft, Mariano Marin, who said the hardest guy to bring down in the Big Ten was Evan Hull. And then Will Mallory, the tight end from Miami, is a very fluid athlete, good in space, good speed. And one more, Daniel Scott, the safety from California. Again, they're just taking athletes. And I think, if 6 of these 15 picks they made hit, it's a good class.
Let's not forget they brought in Gardner Minshew, so instantly got at least 25% cooler over the offseason, which is a big, important boom for them as well. Overall, we gave the Colts an A- for their offseason, a C+ for their free agency, an A+ for their draft, one of the best drafts out there. I think overall a fantastic offseason for them and a completely new direction for a team that had been kind of sinking with these veteran quarterbacks for the last few years.